Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hour number 3 of the line, Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. You know what, John Bird? We went back over it as we were live on TikTok, and I got booted. I got banned from going live on TikTok for approximately 3 days. I'm banned until the 19th for hateful content.
Dang.
Because I was talking about the Benny Johnson deal. Now, I submitted an appeal. They gave me 2 options. They say you can take this voluntary training on our rules and regulations, or you can submit an appeal, which I did. I submitted an appeal. So it takes like 24 hours. So we'll see what happens. Because it actually pulled the clip that it said what the violation was. And when I watched it, you watched it as well.
Yeah, you showed it to me.
It was not anything crazy. Not to mention it was a news story. Like we were reporting on a news story. So it wasn't, I wasn't making the accusations.
No, I don't know how others do it, and get away with it, because they report on a lot worse stuff than we do.
By the way, I saw somebody come in there and talk to you a minute ago. What was that about?
Nothing.
Crank came in there and talked to you.
Yeah, he asked how the cable was, and he said, "Is our boy messing with the mic?" I said, "No, sir. He's like an obedient dog. He's scared to death of it."
Yeah, that's funny.
As I work on his song.
I saw him in there, and I was like, "Oh my God! I wonder if he's going in there to tell him he heard him talking about him."
No, he was actually in a good mood, and he said that he had fixed it, but he definitely blamed it on you.
Did he?
Not the fact the cable was 30 years old.
Okay, as a lesson, it's not my fault. I didn't do it.
Hey man, it's all about content. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about the content. So anyway, screw TikTok. I'm now going to be live on Instagram, and I don't think I've ever gone live on Instagram before. This is my very first time. So if you go to my Instagram, you can click the like button or follow me or whatever. It's at Andrew Mclain and check me out there. I'm going to give Instagram a shot. Let's see if Instagram is any better. Actually, I need the phone stand back though. I went and gave it to you because I was so frustrated. So during the next break, I'll come in and get it.
Yes, master.
Unless you want to bring it to me now, as I talk to
Sure,
Richard
why
the
not?
cop.
Just forget.
Okay. Richard, what's up, bub?
So quit screwing with TikTok. If they're not going to be free speech people, quit screwing with them, Andrew.
Well, none of these companies are free speech people. I mean, that's just
So, yeah, and you're talking. I'm a life without parole Facebook ban. I know. I got banned in last June defending my president to a Democrat. So yeah.
What exactly was it that you said that got you banned on Facebook?
I can't say it on the air. You don't want the FCC violation.
You don't have a PG version you could give me? I mean, what was the?
I used the F word at one point.
Yeah.
And something about the best part of their best part of them ran down their mama's leg at one point.
Oh my. Okay.
So it's like this. It was so bad. I was getting put in Facebook jail so much during the last election. My sister bought me a Yeti mug that said Facebook inmate number 57346 repeat offender on it for Christmas one year.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Though.
Yeah, it's thoughtful.
But it's just one of them things that I had a guy in the car yesterday. I was listening to you, and he's got some kind of tie-in with Randall Woodman, Mayor Smooth, and with the crooked sheriff we've got here in Jefferson County, the 777 Arcade brother sheriff. And he started talking about propaganda. I said, you're a Democrat. He goes, how'd you know? I said, because you're talking stupidity. Get out of my car. And I pulled over and made him get out.
What?
Oh, dang.
You really kicked him out of your car?
I pulled over in the middle of 3rd Avenue West and made him get out.
Dang.
That is
I
gangsta.
reported him for offensive, discriminating speech.
Wow.
And so I'd love to see what they did to him about it. Probably not much. If it's one of us, they ding us. But,
Yeah.
it's just one of them things, Andrew. I ain't got to listen to stupidity. We have Brett. We don't have to listen to stupidity. He'll call in.
Yeah. Brett's got enough stupidity for all of us.
So, but it's one. Just keep in mind, you guys, y'all do what you're supposed to do, and haters gonna hate. And I got a black belt in hate if it comes down to it. I'm not putting up with that stupidity. My president is. He started off with, what do you think about the war? I said, well, I think that we should line our soldiers up around the border of the country, like I said before, hand-to-hand, arm length, and just bayonet everything that moves over there, because little ones grow up big ones, and big ones become terrorists. If we're going to do this right, take them oil tankers we're turning around, seize them, board them, take the oil, shut the place down, and make it the 51st state.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing going to happen after we leave with a different president involved that's not going to be a situation where the wrong president screws it all up again. And hopefully I'm passed away and in heaven with Jesus by the time it gets that bad again. But I grew up during the hostage crisis in the 70s. I watched that news every night with my granddaddy. We watched it at school. We watched them land right after Reagan got sworn in. And I had a 16-year-old uncle that was a POW in Korea, straight out of boot camp. So I'm very, very opinionated on it. Roll Tide, boys. Pulling up the oil change place.
There you go. Hope it's Express Oil Change. By the way, Dixter did text in and say he was at Express Oil now getting his oil changed. I appreciate y'all taking my advice, by the way. So, yeah, Richard makes a good point. There will be a president in the future that will screw all this up. But I think the line of thinking coming from the current president is to make moves and decisions that will stay with Iran for decades to come. Blowing them into oblivion and eliminating their military sets them back a lot of years. Getting rid of this enriched uranium that they have that's enriched to, 60%, getting rid of that sets them back years and years. Will they try to garner a nuclear weapon in the future? Well, yeah, if the same kind of leadership persists. But also, you could have a situation where the people of Iran stand up and they democratically elect their own person, somebody that will represent them. That's not some, paranoid Muslim ideologue that is looking to blow up the rest of the world. Could be a normal person. But at some point, as we know so well in this country, even if you get elections that are actually decided by the people, corrupt individuals, whether in your country or not, will ultimately find a way to dabble in said elections and elect the person that they want that will benefit them and not you, the citizen of said country. We see it happen all across the world. But weapons of mass distraction. I want to get to that when we get back. 205-545-9950. You're listening to The Line, Talk 99.5. Oh, that's good.
This good stuff here, baby.
A Day to Remember. What's the name of that song? Tell me.
Oh, okay, here we go. I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of?
I knew that's what it was. I just wanted to hear you say it. Noto Roofing, N-O-T-O roofing.com. NotoRoofing.com, 205-848-2299. That is 848-2299. Get your free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up, and all the things right there for you. And be happy. Be a happy camper, if you will, to know your roof's in tip-top shape. You need to get that taken care of, man. It's only going to get worse, not going to get better. Call them up. Free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up, no strings attached, no obligation, just straight up doing what I'm telling you they're going to do, and then you can decide if you got problems, if you, in fact, want to, get it fixed. So do that. 205-848-2299. Also, John Bird and I are doing a dual stream on what's this app called?
Instagram.
So at Andrew Mclain Who on Instagram. I'm currently looking up John Bird's nostrils. You're probably thinking you could really use a phone stand, huh? I guess I need to go ahead and buy one.
No, look, see.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me.
Show those man-do muscles.
The left one's always bigger.
Why is your left arm bigger?
Look at that. Always.
Wow.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
Why is your left arm bigger?
I don't know. It's just genetics.
Are you left-handed?
I'm stronger. I'm stronger in my left. No, I'm not left-handed.
Really?
Yeah, it's strange.
A righty with a strong left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything extra with your left hand? I mean, your left arm?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing extra.
No, I used to try and write stuff with my left hand, but I can't. I can't do it.
Okay.
I know where you're going. I ain't stupid.
Where am I going?
Stupid.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about hairy palms. That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm not, dude.
Don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me.
That is disgusting.
Oh, my gosh.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Wes says if you're a Democrat or liberal, you can say what you want on any platform without consequences. That's true. Darren says TikTok is ran by woke folks, just like the rest of them. Bubba says just cut to the chase and go live on Rumble FFS, cuz free speech is actually allowed on there. Signed to your pal, Bubba Rumble. I guess I could try that. I've never gone live on Rumble from my phone. Drew says you can say anything you want on TikTok as long as you're liberal, but if you're conservative, you're going to get censored. Yeah. Tracy said you didn't say anything awful. I think the problem is is they use AI now in order to pick up on what's a violation of their community standards or whatever. And AI will just pick up anything and everything that even remotely looks like a violation, which ends up...
Well, it's bots. It's not people.
Yeah. Well, and it ends up resulting in people getting wrongfully, banned, which is why there is an appeals process. So we'll just see what the appeal process has.
We'll just see, man.
Dexter says, I say all you biggins line up and all you littens bunch up. We ain't like no train. You don't need no ticket to get on this ass, and a cut in line can be arranged. That is if you feel froggy.
Yeah.
You want to translate that?
Come on board, cuz.
Russ just sent me a picture of Club La Vila. He's actually at Club La Vila right now. There's one Cybertruck in the parking lot.
I'm jealous.
Oh, no. And there's somebody else. What was the person's name that's drawing us a picture of the of Club La Vila? Do you remember?
No. Do I remember? Unfortunately, no. My brain sucks.
Hold on, I'll find it. Shaney. Shaney is who it is. Shaney's drawing us a picture of Club La Vila,
I can't wait.
and I'm gonna hang it in the studio here. Trucker Bobby. John Bird has that strong left hand from playing chords on guitar.
Good grief. Exactly. I've been playing since I was 14. That's exactly why. Thank you.
Is that code word for something else?
No, I play guitar, and it does take more difficulty because you have to hold the bar down. It requires more hand strength and arm strength right in here and here.
Call it strumming the instrument.
Well, you can call it what you want to, Mr. Nasty Mind.
Walter says liberals don't have standards, community or otherwise.
No, they don't.
Spencer says biscuits and gravy will solve 99% of the world's problems.
Yum.
So, yeah. And also on the text line, John Bird, Steph sent a picture of herself. Remember you said you wanted a picture? Don't tell Petunia, though. Boy, you hopped on that text line quick, buddy.
No, I did not. I'm not on the text line. I'm checking. Let's see the YouTube channel. I want to make sure that the YouTube is working good. Yeah, I want to make sure that it's working. That it's working. That's working good.
What was it face for?
What? What are you talking about?
John Bird's getting pictures sent to him from the ladies.
Stop. She's quite fetching.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. I'm embarrassing. I'm turning off my mic. Forget.
Oh, man. That's good. That's good stuff. 205-545-9950. We'll get you in. If you want to be part of the show or send John Bird pictures, you can do that on the text line.
Stomp it.
He will take all that you can send him. Anyway, let me get to the weapons of mass distraction, as I've been trying to tell you for like 3 segments now. I remain 100% behind Donald Trump's decision to attack Iran. Y'all know this. The worst terrorist nation in the world is what Iran is. And at some point, it had to be confronted. This move was like rewriting history when it comes to Winston Churchill, right? Correcting course from a previous administration. If Winston Churchill were in power, World War II would have never happened. Churchill, like Trump, believed in peace through strength. We're seeing a repeat of that. Nobody likes war. Nobody wants war. But sometimes fighting a war in the short term saves lives and money, tons of it, in the long run. By playing nice, weak, cowardly, and accommodating to Hitler, Chamberlain's weakness led to World War II. And the result of that was over 60 million dead, military plus civilians, and a financial cost of almost $6 trillion by the United States alone. If Churchill had been in power to stop Hitler early, we would have never spent all that money nor lost 60 million plus human beings. Trump, however, is playing long ball. He's eliminating the world's worst terror threat and future nuclear threat. And over the years to come, that bold, aggressive move will save American lives and taxpayer money by the trillions. Never forget, it was Barack Obama who gave $150 billion to Iran and put us in this situation in the first place. Donald Trump, like Churchill, is cleaning this mess up. More on this when we get back. Hang tight. All right, I'll get your phone calls in a minute. Also, John Bird plays the guitar for next week. I need to take your suggestions. We'll do that momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
Again, never forget it's Obama that gave $150 billion to Iran. I'm trying to make a larger point here, so just follow me. All of the death and destruction going on in Iran right now is on Obama, not Trump. This is Obama's war. He funded Iran, and they used all of that U.S. taxpayer money to build their military and their nuclear arsenal, murder American GIs, and fund terror attacks across the globe. Obama is a modern-day Chamberlain. Trump is the modern-day Churchill. And thank God we've got President Trump. So I'm 100% behind Trump. He's got to finish the job in Iran. There's no question. But the negative is this Iran conflict is eating up all the oxygen in the room. It has become the, say it with me, weapon of mass distraction. It's all the media cares about. It's all everyone talks about. It's a lot of what we talk about. In reality, though, the number one issue and the number one priority in America is making voter ID the law of the land and changing from corrupt machine voting to paper ballots to prevent the massive voter fraud that we have seen as of late. If you look at Las Vegas, for example, in Las Vegas, the biggest billion-dollar casino giants have been hacked, causing tens of millions of dollars in losses. Across America, credit card giants have been hacked. Banks have been hacked. U.S. government agencies have been hacked. So if those things can happen, do you trust that voting machines aren't being hacked? Do you trust that the most important thing that we have in this country when it comes to the path that this country is ultimately on, voting for particular officials, that voting machines are the safest way to do this? That the power that comes with deciding who is and is not going to be president or occupy any elected office, that the world is such a moral place that nobody would hack into these machines or have the ability to hack into these machines, even considering everything else that gets hacked? Do you trust that our elections aren't being rigged and stolen by China, the CCP, or Iran, for that matter? What about Russia? What about North Korea? What about George Soros' organizations or any of America's enemies? Like, the Democrat Party. Donald Trump just signed an executive order limiting mail-in ballot use to American citizens. Mail-in ballots now have to be checked against Social Security numbers, proof of citizenship, and numbered with barcodes. That is a huge move, considering what we saw in 2020 with the mail-in ballots, which was a huge part of the voter fraud scheme. Stuffing tons and tons of mail-in ballots in ballot drop boxes all across the country, in particular in major cities. We remember the 2000 Mules movie, the geo-tracking, the mules that would go from warehouses and get paid by the ballot to go drop them off in different locations. So that's a good thing. That should clean a lot of that up. If Trump's executive order is ratified by the Supreme Court, the days of fake mail-in ballots and illegal aliens voting by the millions with mail-in ballots will be over. And that is a good thing. So bravo. Bravo, Donald Trump, for doing that. But we aren't done. Not by a long shot. There's still many election integrity issues left to overcome. First, why is the Save America Act no longer in the headlines? Why is nobody talking about it? Iran has blotted out the sun. Passing voter ID is the number one priority for America. If the GOP wants to win the midterms, Iran pales in comparison. Trump's executive order only deals with mail-in ballots. It does nothing to resolve in-person voting, which is where the Save America Act comes in. So all of us need to get active and busy, contacting your representatives in the Senate in particular, and demand they pass the SAVE Act no matter how they get it done, superseding the filibuster, reconciliation, whatever they got to do. The SAVE Act ensures we have voter ID, voter photo ID, and proof of citizenship for in-person voting. Secondly, Donald Trump cannot wait for Congress to act. They may never pass it, or they may pass it too late to survive the challenges by Democrats, multiple appeals, and ultimately what would be a final Supreme Court ruling. Also, at the same time, Donald Trump needs to sign a second executive order ending machine voting and mandating paper ballots. This way we know elections can't be hacked or rigged or stolen by foreign powers. They can't do that with paper ballots. They can most certainly do it with voting machines. And I'll even recommend a third executive order. Banning ballot harvesting and ballot drop boxes. Got to get rid of those. Neither is allowed anywhere else in the world due to the likelihood of voter fraud. So why is America so dumb and naive to allow that to happen? If you can drive to a drop-off, ballot drop-off, you can drive to the courthouse or the election office and drop off your freaking ballot. This is how Democrats win elections, by rigging and stealing them, and we have the ability to stop that. These are the number one priorities on earth for the GOP and MAGA, far more important than Iran or anything else anywhere in the world, because if we lose the midterms, it's all over. The Trump agenda stopped. All attempts to end voter fraud are stopped. Trump's going to face nonstop impeachments. Elections will never be safe again. They will do their own ratification, ratifying voter fraud. Voter integrity is the whole ball game. So Donald Trump, I hope that he's not distracted by this. I don't think he is. But I just want to stress to everybody else that this is still the number one priority, because Democrats are not going to stop. They are not going to give up on rigging elections. They are going to continue day after day to do it, whether it's in a legal fashion or an illegal fashion. And you say to yourself, well, how can they steal an election in a legal fashion? Well, take a look at Virginia. Virginia's bum-ass governor just signed away the Commonwealth of Virginia's electoral votes to the national popular vote scam. You're like, what's the national popular vote scam? Well, there is a rule that is called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. It's the NPVIC. And what the NPVIC does is, if enough states sign off on giving their electoral votes automatically to the candidate, the presidential candidate that wins the popular vote, then that will, in fact, mean the winner of the popular vote wins the election. And that gives Democrats the opportunity to pack their cities, Democrat-run cities, and overwhelm the popular vote. Now, we saw, obviously, it is possible for a Republican to win the popular vote. It's possible. But it hasn't been the norm, not by a long shot. So yesterday, actually 2 days ago, Abigail Spanberger, the new governor of Virginia, signed legislation that would enter Virginia into the controversial popular vote interstate compact. Virginia becomes the 19th jurisdiction to join the compact, bringing the total to 222 electoral votes. What that means is, in order for this to become a thing and for this to kick in, it has to reach X number of electoral votes. That number is the 270. That puts them at 48 electoral votes shy of signing off their votes to the winner of the popular vote. 6 additional states with 65 electoral votes, such as Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, are especially promising places. This is according to League of Women Voters. Promising places for obtaining the 48 electoral votes needed before 2028. This is something that they're looking to do before the next presidential election. Under this compact, once the 270 threshold is reached, what happens is, 1, participating states would award all their electoral votes to the national popular vote winner. This would apply, number 2, this would apply regardless of how voters in their own state actually voted. And number 3, in effect, state election results would be rendered meaningless. So what I'm saying here is, let's just take Virginia, for example. If they're able to get a few more states to sign on to this, few more governors, that's all it takes. Few more Democrat governors, Republican governors, doesn't matter, to sign off on this. The states that have signed up for it would officially simply give their electoral votes to whoever wins the national popular vote. Not the popular vote of their state, but the popular vote across the whole country. So, for example, if Virginia wakes up by 2028 and they decide they want to vote Republican and the state votes for the Republican by 20 points, right? But under this compact, if it were to be in place by 2028, it wouldn't matter that a Republican won Virginia by 20 points if the Democrat won the popular vote. All of Virginia's electoral votes would go to the Democrat. And the same would be true for every other state, no matter how many votes went to the Republican. Your vote in that state would be meaningless. And the states that have signed off on this so far have been Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, now Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine. They've all signed off on it. And all they need is just a handful of other states to do it. And then all of those states I just mentioned, doesn't matter what their people vote for. Their electoral votes go to whoever wins the popular vote. And that's it. Nothing else matters. They're doing this in real time. And they're doing it in order to steal elections and take away the voice of the people, of the voters. They don't give a crap what their state, the people of their state votes for. That's what they're saying. Can you imagine? Can you imagine your governor coming to you and saying, all right, when it comes to who wins the presidency or who you pick for the presidency, it doesn't matter what you say. It matters what the other 49 states say. And if the other 49 states say that we want this person and our state voted for the other person, that's irrelevant. We're going with what the other 49 states say. That's madness. And Virginia just joined that league of states. And all they need is just a few more states, and that's it. The popular vote. Whoever wins the popular vote wins the election. We've often talked about that. The Democrats have often talked about that. They said, we want The popular vote to be to dictate who wins. And that'll be it. That there will be nothing else to do. No other question about it. It would be once they get to that 270, then popular vote wins every single election, which renders smaller states, smaller cities useless. Your vote would no longer matter. Only the big fat blue cities. 205-545-9950. More than line coming up after this. All right. Here in a moment. Actually, we'll go ahead and do it now. If you have suggestions for John Burr Plays the Guitar, go ahead and send them on in. And we'll read off some of those suggestions when we get back on the other side. How's that sound? Sound good to you?
Yeah, I think so. We'll just keep reminding them so we'll get some, more than two.
Send it in, 205-545-9950. Bonnie's in Birmingham. Bonnie, what's up?
Hey, bud. Hey, so if all these blue states do that, that makes us a true democracy, not a constitutional republic. That takes away individual states' rights at that point, correct?
That is correct. It takes away your ability
how's that
to.
constitutionally going to fly?
It's not. And
That's what I
hopefully
thought.
it would be
Okay.
challenged in court, but this is what they're
Well,
aiming to do, and they've been
because-
doing it for years.
In the Constitution, democracy was never mentioned, not once.
Right.
And the good, yes. And if it looks like they're going to attempt this, we better blow the filibuster up right now
Amen to that.
and push through everything, all of Trump's agenda, because the moment if they get the House or the Senate, they're going to try to impeach him, and it's going to be back-to-back tens. It's not hundreds of millions of dollars wasted because just say Democrats hold the House, Republicans hold the Senate. They're going to spend all that money just for it to go to the Senate and be shot down.
Yep. You're exactly right.
But I don't understand how states can actually do this because our national elections are set up so that we are not a true democracy.
Right.
A true democracy always ends up with the majority controlling everything.
Well, and it
And
gets
individual states' rights are gone.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I appreciate the call, man. Here's the thing: when it comes to elections, it's a state by state issue, so it is kind of dicey as to how that pans out. But that is a situation that would obviously end up in the courts, and how that plays out, I ultimately can't even tell you because I really don't know. By the way, Trump on the lawn of the White House now taking questions as he gets ready to head out to Las Vegas. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
And we're dealing very nicely with them. We've got to have no nuclear weapons. If we do, that's a big factor. And they're willing to do things today that they weren't willing to do 2 months ago.
Do you have any news about Ukraine? Do you have any news regarding peace in Ukraine?
Will Hezbollah stick to the ceasefire? Are you confident about that?
I think they will. I think it's going to be, actually, it's very exciting because it's 48 years. We're going to be meeting with Bibi Netanyahu, as you know, and the president of Lebanon. And I had a great talk with both of them today. They're going to be having a ceasefire, and that'll include Hezbollah. And I think it could be number 10 for me.
Mr. President, do you have any news regarding peace in Ukraine? Do you have any news regarding peace in Ukraine?
Ukraine is moving along. I wish they could get along, frankly. A lot of people are dying in Ukraine. We'll see what happens. There's things happening there. We're focused so much right now in Iran, seeing if we can get that completed. And I think we're going to be able to. And I think if you look, the stock market is good. The oil prices are coming down. And it's looking very good that we're going to make a deal with Iran. And it's going to be a good deal. It's going to be a deal with no nuclear weapons.
When is the next in-person round of negotiations on the war in Iran? When will
They're
that
all
take place?
important. I mean, it's not a question of around. All of them are
When
important.
will the next in-person
Probably,
meeting take
maybe
place?
over the weekend.
Will you send the vice president? Mr. President, will you send the vice
Just so you understand,
president?
the blockade has been incredible. It's held. They're not doing any business. They're unable to do any business because of the blockade. And so the combination of having no Navy, having no Air Force, having no anti-aircraft equipment, they have nothing. Everything is gone, including their leaders. Now they have a new set of leaders, and we find them very reasonable.
And Mr. President, on the 20-year minimum to stop enriching uranium, would you?
Well,
would
we
that be
haven't agreed to
acceptable
any.
you?
We
Would
haven't
that be
agreed to any.
acceptable to you, sir, if that's the final sticking point?
What
Would you
we
be
have is
comfortable with
we have a statement, very powerful statement, that they will not have, beyond 20 years, that they will not have nuclear weapons. That's beyond. There's no 20-year limit.
You're listening to Donald Trump Live right here on Talk 99.5 WZRR Birmingham.
All I can say thus far, I think Todd Blanche is doing a very good job.
If there's no deal, would you be willing to extend the ceasefire, or will the fighting resume, Mr. President?
I would say the fighting, if there's no deal, fighting resume.
Okay. And then on gas prices, how much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon, with the danger that entails. So the gas prices have come down very much over the last 3-4 days. I know, that's what ABC says. But the fact is that if you look at the stock market's up, Everything's doing really well. And the big thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, because if they do, you want to talk about problems, you'd have problems. So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerfully. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen very positive. Very complicated subject. It's, I don't think we're waiting. I think we're moving very fast. It could happen pretty quickly. Say it.
How long you could sustain the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz?
The what?
How long you could keep the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz?
We're doing very well with the blockade. It's very routine for us. The Navy is incredible. And I think the blockade is doing very well. It's no ship is even thinking about entering. No ship is going past our Navy.
Why are you fighting with the Pope? And are you worried it's upsetting your...
No, I don't. I have to do what's right. The Pope has to understand that. Very simple. I have nothing against the Pope. His brother's MAGA all the way. I like his brother, Louis. I'm not fighting with him. The Pope made a statement. He says Iran can have a nuclear weapon. I say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if the Pope looked at the 42,000 people that were killed over the last 2 or 3 months as a protester with no weapons, no nothing, I mean, you take a look at that. So I can disagree with the Pope. I have a right to disagree. I have a right to disagree with the Pope.
What do you say to people who see that, who see your criticism of the...
Look, nothing. I have no disagreement with the fact the Pope can say what he wants, and I want him to say what he wants, but I can disagree. I think that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they do, the whole world would be at jeopardy. The Middle East will be blown up, and the whole world will be at jeopardy. We're very close to making a deal. That'll be a great thing. The Pope has to understand, Iran has killed more than 42,000 people over the last few months. Think of it, protesters without guns, without anything. They were totally unarmed protesters. The Pope has to understand that. This is the real world. It's a nasty world. But as far as the Pope and saying what he wants, he can do that. Now, I know the Pope's brother. He is a big MAGA person. He's got MAGA all over his house. His name is Louis. He's actually a great guy. And I'm sure the Pope is a great guy. I haven't met him. But I disagree with the Pope. If the Pope would allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, you can't do that.
There are people that are saying that the Pope is bad.
Anthony Mershak from MTV.
No, not really.
Anthony Mershak from MTV Lebanon.
What?
Anthony Mershak from MTV Lebanon. I would like to ask you regarding congratulations for the 10th war.
Yeah, it's very exciting. With Lebanon, it's very exciting. I think we're going to have a deal. We're going to have a meeting, first time in 44 years. And Lebanon will be meeting with Israel, and they're probably going to do it at the White House.
When do you think, President, when do you think they will...
Over the next week or two.
Or the next week. And do you think this agreement can reach...
I do. I think
without Hezbollah
I think we will have an agreement between Lebanon, and they're going to take care of Hezbollah. But they're going to be working on Hezbollah right now. But we'll have an agreement between Israel, very importantly, and Lebanon.
Will you support our Lebanese army as well?
I would.
Hezbollah?
Yeah.
Iran's going to execute...
Has Hezbollah agreed to this ceasefire? I mean, how do you even...
They're all agreeing. It's a very nice little package for about a week. And we're not going to have lots of bombs dropping. And we're going to see if we can make peace between Lebanon and Israel.
And this is more on the Pope, President, because there was a group of bishops that did put out a statement saying the Pope isn't merely exercising his opinion, he's preaching the gospel. I mean, what do you say to people that do this?
Well, I want him to preach the gospel. I'm all about the gospel. But I also know that you cannot let a certain country, which is a very mean-spirited country, have a nuclear weapon. If they did, they would use it, and I think they'd use it quickly, and they would kill many millions of people. So, you know, the Pope could disagree with me on that, but certainly we're allowed to have that. I'm all about the gospel. I'm about it as much as anybody can be, but I can't allow, as President of the United States of America, I can't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And here's the story. They won't have. They've already agreed not to have. That's good news, and I think the Pope will be very happy.
Iran going to execute 4 more people, including a woman.
The Federal Reserve should wait and see about this Iran war before lowering interest rates. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree. I think we should have lower interest rates.
Iran's going to execute 4 more protesters, reportedly, including the first woman protester. What do you tell Iran?
Well, tell that to the Pope. What did you say? Tell that to the Pope.
You want to patch things up with the Pope?
That Iran is going to. Did you just hear that? Iran is going to execute 4 people, including a woman?
Trump, the Lebanese love you so much. Will you visit Lebanon?
You extend the ceasefire. What makes you extend that?
I don't know if we're going to have to, but if we need to, I would do that.
Wait, that's important. Sorry.
What are you telling the airlines and the oil companies about the way you're going to open up the strait?
So if you look at the oil and if you look at the price we're paying, it's about half what people thought it would be if you did what I had to do. We had to take this journey to the Middle East in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon. There would have been, if we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, or if I didn't kill the Barack Hussein-Obama deal, the nuclear deal, which was a disaster, we would have had nuclear weapons exploding in the Middle East and beyond. I believe I've been able to stop that. I think we have a very successful negotiation going on right now. And I think it'll be, if it happens, it'll be announced fairly soon. And that'll give us free oil, free Hormuz Strait. Everything will be nice. And I think your oil price will go down to lower than what it was before. And I think a lot of good things will happen.
Just for clarity, you're willing to extend the ceasefire period?
Well, we'll see. I don't know that we'll have to. Ideally, we'll, but if I needed to, I would.
The Lebanese people love you so much. What do you say? The Lebanese people love you so much. What's your message for them? And you will visit Lebanon after this deal?
I will do that. At the right time, I would certainly go there.
You think this war in Ukraine, Putin doesn't want to stop it apparently. He keeps bombing Ukraine. Do you think this war has the potential to go on for years more?
Well, it should have never started. If I were president, the war in Ukraine never would have started with Russia. But it's going on. Hopefully, it'll get over soon.
The First Lady came out last week and said she had no link to Jeffrey Epstein.
Who did?
The First Lady, Melania.
She had none.
Why did she come out and say that last week?
Because the fake news was saying she did, and she had none, and I think that's been proven. It bothered her that the fake news was being fake news. That's all. She just wanted to clarify.
Were you surprised?
Who's taking care of Hezbollah? Do you think that they are destroying the deal that you are trying to make?
We're going to see how it all works out, but they'll be working and coordinating. If you know Lebanon, right? So they'll be working with Hezbollah.
If we fire Jay Powell,
interested in acquiring Iranian oil?
What?
Are you still interested in acquiring Iranian oil?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we have a very good relationship with Iran right now, as hard as it is to believe. And I think it's a combination of about 4 weeks of bombing and a very powerful blockade. The blockade is maybe more powerful than the bombing, if you want to know the truth.
Are you going to make the Arab countries pay a portion of all of the costs?
I think they'll make that. I think they're going to make that contribution. I think the Arab countries, because we've done a lot, I think they'd make a contribution toward the cost. Not been involved.
Without any conditions, if you make a deal?
We're going to see what happens, but I think we're very close to making a deal with Iran. You'll be the first to know, but I think we have a chance. And if that happens, oil goes way down, prices go way down, inflation goes way down, and you're going to have, much more importantly than even that, you won't have nuclear holocaust.
All right, there he goes, wrapping it up. That was, he loves talking to the press. I mean, at the end of the day, as much as there's such a contentious relationship between the two, between Donald Trump and the fake news, he loves getting out there and talking to the media and answering their questions. I mean, really, that's the reality of it. And it's primetime entertainment. All right, I'm way behind, so I need to do some catch-up. 205-545-9950. Continue to send your songs in for John Bird Plays the Guitar. I think this is the week where I get to pick the top 4. So y'all bring them on in, baby. Let's see them. Send them to the text line, 205-545-9950. Hour number 4 next.